Many very nice people have tremendous amounts of suppressed anger. Whoa, I know you don't believe me. I didn't believe it either. I thought I didn't have any anger until I met a healer that showed me otherwise. And I learned the benefits of tapping into that anger so I can see things clearly and so I can heal my voice. If you're a quiet person and you have been shy and timid for a long time and you're tired of it, this video is going to be life-changing for you. If you're looking to change this now because you're stepping into part of your life where you're going to be dealing with clients, coworkers, patients, and you want to come off as confident and friendly and assertive, I want to let you know that this is changeable. I've done it for myself and I've done it for hundreds of my clients. And I'll share with you in this video how. It's not about gaining more information or reading books about confidence or anger. It's about tapping deeper into your unconscious mind and bringing awareness to parts of you that have been hidden in the shadows as a coping mechanism. If you don't get to the root cause, and I've seen it happen, you can spend not only years, decades. I've seen people spend decades in loops of trying hard with minimal results because they didn't get to the root cause. As you watch this video, I will share with you a detailed struggle of one of my clients, anonymously of course, and sustainable solutions that you can implement today so you can speak with more ease and confidence for life. But if this is your first time here, I'm your favorite voice coach, Hoss. I help people go from socially anxious to socially confident through healing their voice, physically and psychologically, at the root cause so they speak with confidence for life. If this is something that's important to you, I encourage you to join my free program, link in the description, so you can learn this step by step. Now, if that sounds like a good deal, please smash that like and subscribe button, and let's dive in. I worked with a client, let's call him Josh. He finished nursing school, and on the outside, everything looks like it's moving forward. But internally, he feels timid, shy, and he's tired of it. He shared with me one of his biggest motivators to address this limitation. He said, I don't want patients to bully me into giving them drugs because I'm too nice to say no. Obviously, that can cost him his license, his career, and his future. But here's what all the books he read on confidence did not tell him. A big part of this shyness goes back to when he was younger. The way he was brought up. You see, he didn't start out shy. As a child, he was loud, expressive, and alive. Until the age of 12. His dad and his grandma came into his life, and not in a balanced way. Firmness was not balanced with love nor wisdom. They reprimanded him for the sake of reprimand, not for construction. Whenever he was expressive or joyful as a child, they would point their fingers harshly and say, you need to stop that. To a 12-year-old, that meant rejection, embarrassment, and shame. Just like that, a part of him got shut down. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as human beings, we all have psychological needs, starting from the most basic, safety and security, to the most spiritual and self-actualization. Now, if any of those psychological needs is not met, our body gives us a signal. A common signal is tightness in the throat, stifling our expression, trying to protect us from further rejection, embarrassment, and shame. And to a 12-year-old, that protection is necessary because a 12-year-old would much rather blame themselves and deny themselves or deny parts of themselves than to blame the authority figure or to deny the authority figure that is literally responsible for their existence, for their survival at this stage of life. So that part of the child that got denied gets stuck in time until we revisit that psychological part and process the emotions, heal it, and restore the self-image, reparent it in an orderly way, it will continue to hold tension in the throat. But once we reparent it, the tension is released sustainably at the root cause. And here's the consequence of that unconstructive reprimand. Instead of the child feeling free, joyful, and expressive, he began to feel ugly, unwanted, like he doesn't fit in. And that feeling settled in his stomach, in his heart, and in his throat. Psychologically, this is a multi-layered problem that requires a multi-layered solution. The first step was to process the suppressed shame. You see, we have to teach the child and remind the child that all emotions are safe to feel. There is no good emotion and bad emotion. Emotions are emotions. The reason why we are programmed to think that emotions are bad or certain emotions are bad is for several reasons. Two common ones is self-image. If I feel shame, I must be a shameful person, which is incorrect. The emotion is separate from one's identity and one's self-image. And the other reason is when we act upon these emotions in an unconstructive way, that makes the emotion bad. But feeling the emotion and processing the emotion in itself is not bad. Having emotion in the body, energy in the body. Emotion is energy in motion. Emotion. This energy is there, whether we like it or not. And when we like it, we actually process it. When we embrace it, it actually begins to dissolve and evaporates. When we fight it, it gets bigger and it gets worse, and it takes more effort to suppress it, and then it comes out in unproductive ways. So step 2 was teaching that child to put the blame where it belongs. That's where anger comes in. Anger used consciously is a very helpful emotion. I call it conscious anger. Anger helps us create justice and see things clearly. As we go through life, most relationships are meant to be healthy. And most healthy relationships require flexibility and forgiveness and letting things go easily because we're human beings. It does not require anger at every little thing. However, when we find ourselves in toxic relationships, it's very important to utilize anger to help us see things clearly. That this is not just another healthy relationship that has little challenges to overcome. No, this is a toxic relationship that is draining not only your energy, but chipping away at your self-esteem, your self-image, your self-confidence, your dream, your ability to be productive, chipping away at your personality and your light and your spark. And you have to see things in black and white. You have to see things that are wrong as wrong, and you have to see things that are right as right, and forget about shades of gray thinking for a moment. Shades of gray thinking is reserved for healthy relationships, where you utilize more benefit of the doubt and compassion and empathy and give. Healthy relationships is where you utilize more understanding, more compassion, more patience. But in toxic relationships, utilize your anger to help you see things clearly. And the same thing goes for healing. When you revisit memories from the past and it feels toxic and it feels confusing, a healthy relationship should not feel confusing. A healthy relationship should not break your sense of innocence. A healthy relationship should not break your sense of courage to go after good things that you want in life. And I have to give credit where it's due. I learned this black and white thinking versus shades of gray thinking with toxic people from my friend and mentor, Dr. Dan Ratner. He wrote a book called Crushing Doubt, and he has a very helpful YouTube channel. In my experience helping so many people, if you don't experience anger, you likely experience anxiety or nervousness. That's when you suppress the anger and you still see things in an unclear way. You're still living in a sense of confusion. So instead of anger, you experience anxiety or nervousness. They're all signals that a psychological need is not being met. Or in other words, one of your values or standards is being broken. A third layer of helping Josh restore his confidence is that he saw himself as an inconsistent person. He told me I was never consistent. Well, I knew that this was something in his programming that needed to be upgraded as well. We had to recall all the times where he was actually consistent, and there was plenty. He was just not registering them. And in revisiting his 12-year-old self, we actually taught these to his 12-year-old self as well. Because the deeper we go, the more sustainable the results are, the bigger the positive domino effect is. Self-image restoration is so important because as human beings, we can only rise to the behaviors and habits that we see as part of our identity. If I don't see myself as an individual that works out, I'm not going to be able to work out as easily. I'm not going to be able to gain that habit. If you read the book called Atomic Habits, it says to have a successful habit, to build new successful habits, you have to change your identity first. I'm the type of person that works out. I'm the type of person that's consistent. I'm the type of person that builds his confidence in a genuine, authentic way, day after day. Once you program yourself to this type of self-image with repetition and with deeper work, and we will speak about deeper work, deeper brain waves, you begin to act on these behaviors and engage with those habits way more easily and way more naturally. Now, knowledge means nothing without embodiment. So we had to go to work now. We began with physical vocal exercises to help Josh see, hear, and feel how much suppression his voice has been carrying. Within the first 5 minutes, his voice shifted from 6 out of 10 quality to 8 out of 10 by his own measures. Not forced, not temporary, sustainable improvement. Now I want to share with you one of these very powerful vocal exercises to release tension from your voice sustainably. I want you to first test your voice as it is now. Take a breath and say, hello, hello. Now notice, where did you feel the vibration in your voice, in your body, from your voice? You can say it again, hello, hello. For me, I feel it here right now mainly, and it kind of like radiates downwards and outwards. And now give it a score from 0 to 10, 10 being most satisfactory. You can say it again if you want, hello, hello. I'll give mine a 7. Notice what yours is and give it a number. What gets measured gets improved. Now take a deep breath into your belly and you relax your body completely. Drop your shoulders, allow your rib cage to relax, your belly to relax, your head muscles. Imagine your brain is like a muscle and just let it relax. Use your imagination. And now I invite you to try this sound. Notice where you feel the vibration when you make this sound. Many people, depending on the level of tension they have in their voice, are not able to do this sound. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. If you're not able to do this sound, the separate crackly sounds, vibrations, is because you have a lot of tension in your voice. A lot of suppressed anger, a lot of suppressed, could be whatever emotions it is. I don't want to put labels. It could be shame, it could be anger, whatever it is. It's just tension in the voice that we need to release. Emotion is energy. It's not really a matter of putting a label of the emotion as much as it is an energy that needs to be released. And that energy could be tied into beliefs about oneself, beliefs about the world. Those beliefs can be disempowering, which continues to regenerate the emotions of anger or shame or the embarrassment, or they can be empowering and they can continue to create emotions of ease, peace, relaxation, so on and so forth. So try this sound one more time and allow gravity to just work itself through your voice. Relax and let it drop. You can even drop your pitch. Deep breath, relax your body. It's all about awareness. Now let's do a third time. Notice where the location of the vibration is now. If you need to clear your throat, if you need to take a sip of water, and then let me take a sip of water, and then we'll say hello again and test it. Hello, hello. I'll give myself at least an 8 out of 10. So it feels a lot more full. I'm feeling the vibration not only here, but higher and lower in my belly, like below my sternum, above the belly button. Hello, hello. Feels 8.5, I'll give it. So let me know what your numbers were. Share it in the comments. And if you have any questions, we can make adjustments from there. So that is a vocal exercise that you can do daily. 1 minute every morning, 30 seconds every morning. It's going to accumulate and compound and make a huge difference in your level of confidence and releasing tension from your voice, releasing anger from your voice, releasing tension that created limiting beliefs about yourself from your voice. The ripple effect is just phenomenally positive. After we did the physical vocal exercises, we went deeper. We revisited that 12-year-old version of Josh, the one who just wanted to feel happy, peaceful, and accepted. And we began the process of re-parenting. This chart shows different brainwave frequencies. The higher frequencies are associated with thinking, analyzing, and being on the go. The lower frequencies are associated with relaxation, meditation, and access to the unconscious mind. That's why the deeper the breath and the more relaxed the body is, the more opportunity there is for healing and lasting change to occur. He began to reassure the 12-year-old Josh, being his own best friend, imagined being the perfect parent for himself. And something powerful happened. That feeling of being ugly, unwanted, and not enough started to dissolve. The lies that he believed about himself began to be exposed, and the truth was restored, that he is a loved child. His sense of innocence and boldness got restored. Not because he ignored it, but because he met it with presence and mindfulness and compassion and healed it. He restored it. This is not a process of fixing. It's a process of being present with what is taking place, being present with what is happening. It's not a process of escaping or rushing either. It's a process of awareness that heals. By this point, you might be thinking to yourself, I'm not angry. I'm actually a very nice person. And honestly, I would believe you fully. And I would also offer a reframe towards anger. Think of anger like a warning light on your car's dashboard. The purpose of the warning light isn't to make you a bad driver. It's to tell you that something needs attention. When healthy anger is suppressed, people often become overly accommodating, overly tolerant, and have difficulty creating boundaries. Conscious anger isn't about yelling at people, it's about seeing clearly. It's about recognizing when something is unfair and stepping away, or just recognizing the truth in your mind. If somebody calls you something, instead of believing it, you reject it. And anger can help you see and feel that. Just because you're nice doesn't mean you don't have anger. As human beings, you probably have all kinds of emotions. It might simply mean that you've never learned how to use it properly or how to process it. I worked with many clients who, before they came to me, they adopted exposure therapy. Practice, repetition, without getting to the root cause. And what they experienced was very minimal improvement over decades, not even months or years, decades of practicing with minimal improvement. And every time they step on stage or give a presentation at work, they feel nervous. And after they finish the presentation, they ruminate and overthink, not for a day, not for 2 days, for weeks. That is very unhealthy, and it's a sign. Their body is signaling and their mind is signaling to them that there's a younger part that needs attention. And many people think, well, why do I need to revisit younger parts? Why do I need to go to the past? Time heals. Well, time doesn't heal. When you sweep things under the carpet, they just start to smell bad and they become worse and create more problems later. Imagine a tree. If the roots are rotten, if the roots are not healthy, the tree is not going to be a healthy tree. And the fruits that it bears, it's not going to be healthy fruits. You may try to paint every branch and every leaf green. You may try to paint every apple red or whichever color. It's not going to make much difference. It's going to be a very effortful process with very minimal results. But if you tend to the roots, if you tend to the soil, to the root cause, then the tree takes care of itself. And seasons will come and seasons will change, and we will experience the ups and downs, but we will have the stability of being rooted in a healthy and in a strong way. It's the same thing with our psyche and with our mind. Now let's take a look at two possible futures for Josh. One is 3 years from now, nothing changes for him. He's still shy. He's still avoiding eye contact. He's walking while looking down at his phone, afraid to speak up, settling for less, and regretting not living his full potential. On the other side of the equation, 3 years from now, he changes. He reparents his younger self. He gets to the root cause and he practices good habits. He restores his self-image to practice better and better habits. He feels more confident, more grounded. He's more respected at work. Strong boundaries with patients, strong boundaries with family members and friends, thriving relationships, and speaking with clarity and presence. And an actual part of his dream is to step on stage and share his knowledge to help others. One of the most important skills is not confidence, it's self-awareness. Confidence is a byproduct of self-awareness. Before practicing the physical and psychological healing techniques, Josh was not aware where his voice vibrates. He had no sense, he had no awareness of his voice. He didn't feel what a strong voice feels like. If you see yourself in Josh and the details I shared, you're not broken. You were just conditioned to be smaller than you are. And with the right practices, you can take your voice back. If you found tremendous value in this video, you will really benefit from this next one over here, where I share my own story with the same struggle. And I share exercises that you can follow along and feel the relief for yourself with your voice. Click here and I'll see you over there. What's up guys, Hoss here. Wanted to pop in and talk about